Okay, trigonometry, getting tricky with it again. How to find missing angles. First thing we do is write SOHCAHTOA at the top of our paper. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. All right, some easy questions for you here. What's the opposite of addition? That's right, you just said subtraction. What's the opposite of division? Multiplication. What's the opposite of squaring a number? Doesn't matter what it is. That would be the square root. So what's the opposite of sine? We call that arcsine. The arcsine of the number. Now, our calculators don't write it this way. They write it like this. Sine -1. That's good. Just saying it's the inverse operation. Inverse operation, or the opposite of addition, is subtraction. The opposite of division, or the inverse of division, is multiplication. The inverse operation of square number is square rooting. The inverse of sine is arcsine. That's what you're going to need. So, first thing we need to do, here's step number 1. We're going to be finding theta on this problem, okay? We're going to be finding theta. Identify which sides you have based on the angle you want to find. So here's theta. This would be the hypotenuse right here, because it's across from 90, so this is the adjacent side. So adjacent and hypotenuse, I need cosine. So I'm going to set up the following. The cosine of the angle is equal to 41 over 60. This looks big and scary. It is not. I'm going to take the arc cosine of both sides. I just gotta make sure this is in parentheses. Arc, cosine, and cosine cancel each other out, just like addition and subtraction cancel each other out. Or if you've got some number squared, taking the square root cancels it out. If I have x squared and just trying to find x, I take the square root, and that's just x. Those get rid of each other. So really, all you have to do is type into your calculator the arc cosine of 41 over 60. Now, you probably won't see it. You might not see arc cosine on a calculator, so you can type in cosine to -1 of 41 over 60. So, how do you do that? On my calculator, you'll notice there isn't that button. That's okay. I'm going to hit INV right here. On your calculator, it might be second or shift or something like that. I hit that, and you get sine to the -1. So I'm going to type in sine -1, or arcsine. No, I'm not. Just kidding. Cosine. Arc cosine of 41 divided by 60. I'm going to close those parentheses, and then I'm going to hit equals. Bam, done. Make sure your calculator's in degrees, but as long as your calculator's in degrees, that's your answer. 46 point, I'm going to round to the nearest tenth in this one, 46.9 degrees, and you're done. That's all you got to do. All right, let's try the next one. What two sides do I have here? This is the opposite. It's opposite from here. It's on the other side. This is the hypotenuse because it's across from 90. Opposite and hypotenuse, I need sine. Okay, no problem. The sine of, you can call it theta. I can also just call it angle A if I want to. Sine of angle A is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So I'm going to take the arc sine of both sides. This is something we like to see, but if you don't write this step, it's okay. Arc sine of sine, those cancel each other out. So arc sine of 6 over 10. A is equal to, well, I don't know what that is offhand. So, again, if it just says like this, press the inverse button or the second button. So the arc sine of 6 divided by 10, and I'm going to close my parentheses around that. It's very important, otherwise it's going to think you just want to take the arc sine of 6. It's not what we want. Arc sine of 6 over 10, and then I hit equals. There you go. It's 36.9 degrees when I round to nearest tenth. So this angle right here would be 36.9 degrees. So there are your steps. Identify which sides you need, which sides you have based on the angle you want to find. Determine which trig ratio you need. Set up your equation. That's 3/4 the battle, and then plug into your calculator. All right, I'm going to give you a moment to try this one on your own. Pause the video, try it on your own, and we'll go over it. We'll go through it in just a moment. All right, hope you paused the video. Let's see what two sides I have. That's the opposite side right there. This is the well, this would be the hypotenuse because across from 90, so that means this is the adjacent side. Opposite and adjacent. Well, look up here, opposite and adjacent. I need tangent. The tangent of theta or angle C, doesn't matter, same thing. Tangent of C is equal to 5 over 12. So C is the arctangent of 5 over 12. So then we just grab our calculator. Turn mine sideways. Again, making sure it's in degrees. There's arctangent right there. Arctangent of 5 divided by 12. Close the parentheses around that. Hit enter. That means this angle right here is 22.6 degrees. There you go. That's all you got to do. We'll take the arctangent of both sides. That would cancel those out. And all I'm left with is arctangent of whatever the angle is 5/12, which gives me 22.6 degrees. There you go. Good luck.